Hello, Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, Certified Zentangle Teacher. And this is another just kind of spontaneous recording for me, trying to not stress and worry about prepping for hours, because that just kind of takes the zen out of the Zentangle part for me. I've said many times I'm a recovering perfectionist, and so I'm trying to stop worrying about making things perfect and just share some ideas that I have. And today I am going to do a Star of David in honor of Hanukkah coming up this week. And I am working with Zendala tile and a 3Z tile. And if you don't have that, you can just kind of fudge it. You can use any size tile that you want, but this to me is a really easy way to make the Star of David. I have some Jewish friends. One is very supportive of me, and I found her through the YouTube channel, and her name is Yehudit. So Yehudit, this is in honor of you. So to make the Star of David, the easiest way is to get the 3Z and do your best to kind of center it on your Zendala. And then I'm going to just lightly outline my 3Z in pencil. Okay. So now I have one triangle. Now I've turned it over, and I'm going to, again, try to get this centered again. See that I've hopefully got these triangles that you can see here about the same. And now I'm going to do a simple outline with pencil again. I believe if you wanted to make your own 3Z, these are a little more than three, it looks like 3 3/8 inches wide. If you measured it in millimeters, it is almost 35 millimeters across. So that might be helpful, and the same on each edge. Okay, so now I can put that aside. And I thought what I would do today is one of my favorite things to do. And now I've switched to my Micron 01. And you could, if you wanted, to start this with pen, outline it in pen, but I'm going to do weighted paradox in the center of this, and try not to take a huge amount of time doing it, but paradox is one of my favorite patterns. To me, it's very meditative. And I can see already that these are not exactly the same size. So I didn't center it perfectly, but again, I don't do perfect. So I'm going to start at one of these corners, and I'm going to just make a straight line going up. So I'm going to start small at one edge and get a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to turn it I'm turning mine counterclockwise. That's my habit. And then I'm just going to continue to do a counterclockwise turn. Start at the point where I just left off. And I'm attempting to make these about the same. If they're not, it's okay. It's not going to matter in the end. But this will make a beautiful pattern in the center. I have not decided what I want to put on the edges. I have a few Zentangle certified teacher friends that I watch on their YouTube channels or Facebook Live, and at least one of them does not practice ahead of time. And so I had decided to try to do the same, to come up with an idea and walk through it with you. Okay, so we're just going to keep turning. And even though these aren't exactly the same, it's going to make a beautiful spiral in the center of this star. Okay, just continue to turn your tile. Keep this hand relaxed and in a comfortable position. I believe I got the music to work this time. I tend to not know until I get to the end of the video. I have said twice in some of my other videos that I had music in the background and it didn't work. This time I think it's playing, just very soft instrumental music off of Spotify. I have a Zentangle instrumental playlist. Okay, you can see right there, I didn't get that right at that point, but it's not going to show up. Another way that you can do this is add your weighting each time as you go along. And weighting as in W-E-I-G-H-T-I-N-G. I've been trying to make sure that I turn on the closed captioning now. That was a request, and I appreciate that someone made me aware of that. And I appreciate that YouTube does that easily when I upload my tiles. However, it doesn't necessarily get the exact wording or spelling right, but it is still helpful. Okay. Just keep going, just keep turning. I love doing this in a hexagon, or you can do this in any odd shape, and the way it spirals in is beautiful to me. And you can see it's Looking a little bit odd, but that's okay. When we do the weighting, it will all look good. Oops. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that as it is. Okay, for the weighting, I'm going to go back to each of these and just add, zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So where each one of these meets, I'm just going to add a little bit of weight at the top. That's what we call it. And you can come back and round it a little bit more. The top of each of these begins to look like a little petal. In fact, you can just go from one to the next like this and make a little rounded top. Now you can fast forward through this so you don't have to watch me do each one. It does take a little bit of time. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move to the next one. I would love to meet my friend Yehudit someday. She is in New Mexico, and I'm in Texas. And of course, with the pandemic going on right now, there's no traveling happening. Not for me anyway. I'm a senior lady and am fearful of what would happen if I were to get COVID. So I am doing my best to stay safe. Okay, hopefully I've been on the screen. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go to this one. Okay, again, just keep rounding each one of these. I do have hexagon tiles that I make on my Cricut machine, and doing this paradox inside is one of my favorite meditative type things to do. I listen to books on Audible, and it's just for me a very good way to start my morning. Very relaxing. I used to attempt to do meditation every morning and just didn't feel like I was getting into the flow. But when I found Zentangle and started learning to do the tiles, I felt like I was in a more meditative state than I ever was when I was just trying to follow my breath. Speaking of which, breathe, relax. Sometimes we hold our breath when we're doing Zentangle, and that's not good. Okay, on the last one. Then I have to figure out what to do with the triangles. Trying to look at this on the big screen, it's always a little bit different when I see it magnified. Just try to work your way down into the center, adding the weighting. And I think, I'm not sure what to do with that center part. We'll leave it for now. Okay, now I'm going to go over these triangles with my micron. Okay, I'm going to turn my tile. I do better going from left to right when I'm trying to do a line. So you find what's best for you. Some people do better pulling the line toward them. Okay, so I think I'm going to aura inside each one of these. I think it will help separate the center part from whatever patterns I decide to put in here. Turning my tile to keep my hand comfortable. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, so zoom out a little bit on this. And now to decide what goes in the center. Okay, so I got interrupted by a phone call, and I'm going to start this again. This is the Zentangle primer, and within it, Rick and Maria talk about fragments and reticula. And so I looked into this and went to the page on triangles and different patterns that I could possibly use on those. And I am picking this one, which is K13. Okay, if you happen to have the primer. And bumped my phone. So let's fill these with something kind of simple. Hopefully this is going to look good. Not playing. So for that one, we go from each corner and make a straight line. So here I'm going to go to the middle of this one. Okay. And now I'm going to go down this one to the middle. So we've divided that. And next, I'm going to add an aura. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put a second aura. And then fill that in. And then I'm going to just continue to do the same thing. I'm going to add one aura. Add a second aura. And then fill that in. And you could put anything in these sides. Okay, I'm hoping this is going to look good. And I encourage you to do the same thing. Relax, have fun, play what I call what if. What if I did this? What if I added this pattern? What if I add the weight like I did in the center? Again, I'm turning this to keep my hand comfortable. Okay. We go to the second one. Start at the point, go down to the center, turn from the point to the center, turn again, go from the point. I'm going to make sure I go through that line where those intersected. Okay, fill that in. If the music is working this time, you can let me know what you think. Because there's often a lot of quiet time when I get into what I'm doing and I forget to say anything. So again, I'm just continuing to add 2 auras inside each one of these divisions that I've made. and then filling in that one. Okay, move to this one. Trying to make sure I keep this in the view. And it seems to be focusing well. When I first started doing these videos, when I zoomed in too much, my hand would get in the way, and it didn't focus as well as it should have. So I think I'm getting better at what I'm doing here. You could go back on these and add color, but you would want to do that before you add shading if you're going to use your graphite. I have found that I do not like to go back and color after I've done my tangles. I prefer to do color all over, like with a watercolor wash, something like that, and then just freely add my patterns. Going back and adding color just stresses me because I don't study color theory. I feel like I don't combine colors well, and so I enjoy just adding random colors to begin with and then go back afterwards and add my patterns. There are people who do fantastic jobs of adding color afterwards. Bold colors. Some do light pastel colors. Anyway, I prefer not to, so I will not be doing that on this one. Again, you're welcome to pause this, fast forward, whatever makes you more comfortable with. Okay, so I had another phone call interruption. I'm not sure exactly where I was at, but I'm still just basically doing the same thing. Let's try to get through this so that we can do the shading. And again, if you don't like how this looks, then you can pick any pattern to go on the inside or the outside. And these little triangles are in the center. You can color it, not color it. You could add more patterns on the outside. This is your art. I'm just giving you some ideas, sharing some of the ideas that I have. Again, don't be afraid to ask, what if I do it this way? Or what if I do it another way? It's only paper. My dog is trying to get in the room with her squeaker toy. So hopefully you don't hear that in the background. She is new to me, a rescue. Staffordshire Terrier, full of energy like crazy. I've had her 2 months now. Remember to turn your tile to keep your hand comfortable. We're almost there. I enjoy repetitive patterns like this, especially, like I say, I have a subscription to listen to audiobooks. And I have listened to so much more and read, as in listening to books more since finding Zentangle than ever before. Okay, so let's zoom out just a little bit. Do some shading. I am going to start along these edges. Actually, I should have it pointed this way. Point your pencil at the edge that you're trying to shade. And where you have a lot of lines coming together, that's a good place to add shading. Okay, jump to this other one. Oop, jumped up. Okay, now get your tortillon or blending stump. You could use a cotton swab if you don't have anything else. If you don't have that, use your finger. In the beginning, that's what Maria used. She just took her finger and smoothed it. Okay. On the Zentangle channel on YouTube, you can go all the way back to the first project pack and the first videos that Rick and Maria did. I love listening to them. They will have a new project pack starting, I believe, around December 10th. New videos coming out. Should be fun. I'm just going to fill this in with a little gray and not worry about it. Okay. And then I think for each of these, I'm just going to do a simple bit of shading on each of these lines. And then soften it with your tortillon. Kind of looks like a flag. I don't know. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. You had a better idea? I'd like to know. There's so many fragments that are available. Or like I said, you could fill it with tipple or any pattern. I kept looking at different ones, thinking, what do I want to do? Ooh, I like that. I kind of filled in that middle stripe. I'm going to go back and do that on this one too. Just kind of let that shading go on both sides of that line. Okay, so let's just plan that on the rest of these. Just light shading inside that first aura. And if you hear kitchen noises, it is because I am right next to the kitchen. This room used to be my dining room years and years ago. We turned it into a bedroom, and now it is my craft room and homeschooling room for my 7-year-old granddaughter. Mostly she enjoys crafts. All right, there we go. We're done. I like it. All right. Well, thank you again for watching my video. If you liked it, please click the like button and subscribe if you have not already. If you have any comments, please leave comments. You're also free to contact me at notperfectzen@gmail.com. There is also an opportunity to support my channel. There will be a link in the description for a site called ko-fi.com, Ko-fi. And that just helps support my payment for Zoom and supplies and little things like that. Not required, but just a nice thing if you feel like this has been helpful to you. Anyway, I've enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Thank you. Happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate it. Happy holidays to everybody else. Thanks. Bye.